Morning all, and admittedly, I kind of broke my own rule today, so I've been going through the list of where guys are on the average. The average listing according to Elite Prospects. Today I broke that rule. Connor Zary should have been the guy today. I apologize if you're looking for a Connor Zary one. It's coming up. I just couldn't figure out which team could potentially draft Zary or where he might go, and I kind of was like, all right. So I want to talk about Braden Schneider, because here's a defenseman that has moved up the list over the season, and I think that Florida's a good fit. Why? Because Florida needs a defensive defenseman. You have Ekblad, you have Yandel, good offensive instincts for both guys. They're not known as great defensive defensemen. So here's Schneider. 6'2", 209 pounds. So he's going to be a big defenseman. He's going to play a lot. And he should be a lock to play in the NHL. The question becomes whether or not you're looking at a potential guy who's going to score a ton of points when he plays all those minutes, or if you're just looking at a guy who's going to be very physical, play a bunch of minutes, and never quite be, an elite level scorer. And he doesn't have to be. So the thing that seems to favor Schneider is, at worst, you have a top four defenseman who is adept defensively, plays 20 plus minutes a night, and lags back so that the other guy can cheat a little bit. He's the kind of defenseman that Torrey Krug could use in Boston at all times. That kind of thing. So he's number 11 on Hockey Prospect, moved up the list this year. ISS has him at number 13. NHL Central Scouting has him at number 9 among North American skaters. Elite Prospects is the outlier. They've got him at number 34. I'm thinking they do a final update and he gets bumped up from 34. Because there's no way he falls out of the first round. There's just no chance. This is a defenseman. It seems like it's a draft that's light when it comes to defensemen. And yet there's teams that do need defense. Florida stands out to me as one that definitely could use another defender. And as said by scouts, you can't get players like this unless you draft them. Teams don't trade defensemen like this. Really good defensively and a smart player. So basically the offense is okay. He's smart with the puck. He's good away from the puck. But what you're drafting him for is his defense. 2018-2019, playing for the Brandon Wheat Kings, 58 games, 8 goals, 16 assists, 24 points. This season for Brandon, again, 60 games played, 7 goals, 35 assists, 42 points. So the offensive numbers were there this year. There's a feeling he doesn't shoot as often as they might like, but it's understandable. And, his game is more along the defensive side and chewing up minutes. His strengths: puck handling, teamwork, strength, speed, passing, acceleration. Notice strength is up there as one of his strengths. He's a big kid, and he uses his physical size well. His physicality's not too bad in his game. We'll see how it works. He's listed as a two-way defenseman. And said in an interview as well that he sort of patterned some of his game after Pietrangelo. So while he's not saying he's going to be another Alex Pietrangelo, and I don't know that the offensive upside is there, he's saying, yeah, there's parts of my game I pattern after him. NHL-ready frame. So there's going to be a team somewhere that needs a defenseman who could push for a job right away. Lots of minutes, a few mistakes. So he plays a ton. And there were a lot of reports I read that said he played over 20 minutes tonight, not a single mistake. So with defense, that's really the key thing. And I've mentioned this in numerous reviews, previews, season previews, and just talking about defensemen in general. What stands out to me is that defenseman you never want to yell at. That defenseman that you never are like, what in the world are you thinking? Why did you pass it there? Why did you do that? That was stupid. Not Braden Schneider, apparently. He doesn't do that kind of thing. Could be a top minutes defenseman in the NHL. So they're saying wouldn't be surprising if he ends up playing 20 plus minutes a night, maybe as much as 25 minutes a night. Wouldn't be a surprise to anybody. And he's considered to have a high floor. Now, when you see high floor, what that means is at the very least, he's an NHL level defenseman. At the very least, this guy's going to make it. It's a matter of how far he goes. So the ceiling, that's the unknown part. Does he end up playing the role as a good top four stay-at-home defenseman, or does he have that offensive upside that arrives and then he proves he's absolutely fantastic? So that's the question mark with him, but there's not very many. And that's why I wanted to talk about Braden Schneider today from this year's draft class. Because it sounds like this is going to be an NHL-level defenseman. Absolutely. At 6'2", 209, he's ready to go right now. And we will likely see him in an NHL jersey for at the very least the 9-game tryout next season, you have to think. And then beyond that, who knows? Because the ceiling is the great unknown with this guy. There are some scouting reports talked about how smart he was with the puck and how they could see him being a really solid two-way defenseman that could score 40 points type. And others that said, well, I don't know about the offense, but his defense is so good, I don't care. So that's a pretty strong compliment right there to go, the offense may not be very good, but we still intend to draft him. So I can't see him sliding very far in the draft. I could see him being taken around the middle of the first round. And who's drafting right around the middle of that first round in all likelihood? Florida. Unless Florida goes on a run. And if Florida goes on a run and they draft in the last 4 of the first round, I don't think Florida fans are going to be too upset with that either. So we'll see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding Braden Schneider, this year's draft class. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.